So yeah, for whatever reason, she seems to have a thing for him, so much so that she made a few tall tales about the two of them dating.
Oh.
Donald took it on the chin and shrugged it all off for the most part, but then Martha began claiming she was actually pregnant with his child.
Was she even pregnant? Oh.
No.
Okay.
From what I can see, it's no. Maybe other information that contradicts
when
that. When
people say that, I don't get how they can think they're going to get away with it.
Well, you can have people who don't show pregnancy, right?
Yeah, but you still get a baby at the end of it.
Yeah, but in that time period, you've got a whole 9 months or so to do it.
True. There
was also those really sick people from YouTube. Remember the family? No, they said that they had a baby and they made the video about. So we're digressing just a little bit, but they made the video about them being pregnant, and it was like the husband was going to tell the woman that she was pregnant, this weird twister-rooney thing, and then it came out she wasn't ever pregnant, but they also faked a miscarriage. What? I'll show you later. Oh my god. If anyone out there doesn't know, YouTube's a weird place. If you want to see me on YouTube, youtube.com/It's Mike James. It could be in the show notes down below. It's not as weird as most things. So yeah, anyway, back to this. So yeah, of course, he was actually expecting his own child at this point. So this really fucked him up. This really pissed him off. Because the bits he can sort of disregard, go, yep, stupid, just get on with it. She's just chatting shit. But when it came to this, it sort of obviously struck a chord with him. And I'm guessing, like I said, a line had been crossed. I'm guessing at that point, because he was already expecting a child. So what Donald did, rather than walking over to her and saying, look, shut the fuck up. Don't be crazy. I've got a child. Rather than doing that, like a rational person. No, don't do that. Instead, yes?
No, I'm curious to know what he's going to do.
He lured Martha in by asking her to stay late one night after work for drinks. Clearly making her think little dreams were about to come true. Yeah. And then he began to ply her with a shit ton of alcohol, which, unknown to her, was laced with lethal amounts of drugs. So poor Martha, in my opinion. Martha may have not been the best person in the world because making up lies about being pregnant with someone, but she most definitely did not deserve death as the punishment.
No.
A stern word.
No.
A stern word and maybe a finger wag in the face, but not death. Definitely not.
Yeah.
So now we cut to 1971, and Donald moved to a place called Charleston with his wife and child. And it wouldn't be until then, 1972, that he would strike once again. The victims this time were Eddie Brown, a 24-year-old gun runner, and his wife named Bertie. Donald sold guns to Eddie, including stolen military weapons, but he grew nervous when Eddie told him that federal agents were sniffing around Charleston seeking illicit arms dealers. So he thought they may have been onto him.
Okay.
Fearing the setup, Donald decided to shoot both Eddie and Bertie. He planted their bodies behind the barn where he had previously buried Janice Kirby in 1970. All just for the fact that he felt a bit paranoid. It's so weird.
Oh.
His lack of value for life.
I can't even fathom it, to be fair.
Insania is the word.
In the words of Peter Andre.
Insania. No, I'm taking that word back. Fuck Peter Andre.
He's the one who made it up.
I know, but he seems like a cool guy and all, but I don't know use that word. I'm taking ownership of it. I'm taking Insania back.
Yeah, right. I'll let you do that.
In 1973, Donald moves again, this time to Prospect, South Carolina. Before year's end, he murdered 3 more victims, starting with another really young girl, 14-year-old runaway Jackie Freeman. Donald picked her up while she was hitchhiking in October and held her captive for 2 days of rape, torture, and this time cannibalism.
What? Why she was captive? So I presume still alive, right?
I don't believe. I don't have that information.
Oh, okay.
I don't have that information. For the sake of this, I don't know why it makes it any better. I'm going to say post-mortem after she died.
Okay.
I'm just going to say that because I don't want to imagine it the other way around.
Yeah.
The weekend after Jackie Freeman's murder, Donald, I'm guessing with some strange, twisted sense of humour, bought a used hearse and put a sign in the window saying, "We haul anything, living or dead."
Why? Why?
Just wanted a new car. What better car to get than
He's
that?
fucked him.
He's a crazy guy. I mean, if the Munsters had that car, maybe that would make sense. I mean, that would be kind of like a quirky thing for the Munsters, but not an actual serial killer.
Yeah.
Then it becomes creepy McCreeperson.
Well, then again, nobody knows he's a serial killer at the time. You just think he's just a weirdo.
No, but like if you have like a kooky family that's dressed up like Frankenstein and vampire and wolf boy and they drive it, that's kind of fun. But when you just see like some gross middle-aged psycho sitting in the front seat driving it on his own, that's weird.
Yeah, it is weird.
Red flag.
Multiple.
Yeah, and if that wasn't enough to convince you of just what sort of mentality this particular dude had, one time while he was drinking with friends, they asked him what inspired his particular choice of vehicle, to which he replied, "I kill so many people, I need a hearse to haul them to my private cemetery."
He actually said that.
Open and honestly, just said that to everyone. But it's kind of like a little, maybe like a wink. It's like a, "Oh, Donald, silly Donald."
Such a joker.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
If one of our best friends said that, who we trust implicitly, we wouldn't think anything of it, right?
No, I wouldn't, actually. No, yeah.
Maybe I would, actually.
No, I wouldn't. I'd be like, you're so funny, you.
Yeah. Mega lols, right?
Yeah.
Mega lols. That phrase is tainted for me. Mega lols. Fuck you, Ian Watkins.
What?
Oh, never mind. I'll tell you later. 23-year-old Doreen Dempsey and her 2-year-old daughter, Robin Michelle, would be the first to take a ride in this particular vehicle. Like I said before, this story does get pretty heavy in parts, and this is potentially one of the heaviest. It grossed me out. Anyway, I had to take a little break while typing up this new.
Okay.
Just a little 5-minute. I think I'll clear my mind of these thoughts for a moment. So prepare. Donald knew Doreen Dempsey from his carnival days. She was an unwed mother, pregnant with a second child at that point, and this all was taking place in December 1973. She had planned on leaving town that month and accepted Pee-wee's offer of a drive to the local bus station. In her head, she was heading for freedom and a bright new future with her children. Little did she know at the time, however, Donald had a little detour planned, and it was to be her final destination.
Ugh. No.
Donald drove Doreen into the woods and demanded sex. In fear for their lives, Doreen agreed, but then began to vomit when Donald also unexpectedly started to undress her 2-year-old Robin. Of course, Doreen began to protest strongly, as you would, to which Donald responded by beating her to death with a hammer. He then raped and sodomized the child before strangling her to death and burying both victims together. Want to know? Years later, he would recall his this particular assault with Robin and her daughter as the best sex of his life. Told you.
That's fucked.
Told you.
Fuck.
This guy is... I mean, we've talked about some horrible people. The blatant sort of... the arrogance of it and the lack of any remorse or thinking.
No.
It's next level.
Almost. No, that's fucked up.
Vile.
Fucked up. Oh, no, I didn't like that.
No.
No.
Well, I'd be concerned if you did. To be fair. Little mental detour from that. Anyone seen the Bros documentary on BBC after the laughing stops? One of my favorite quote from the whole thing. If anyone doesn't know who Bros is, it's like a boy band from like Britain in the 1980s, I think.
I think they went to America and things like that.
Maybe.
Well,
I think they were kind of big. They were a little bit before my time, so I don't really know. Favorite quote from that is the letters HOME to me perfectly sum up what it means, home. I think that's what he says, right?
It's something like that, yeah.
It's like, oh my God, he tries to be, oh no, the best one. I made a conscious decision because of Stevie Wonder not to be superstitious. And that was with, like, the most serious thing. By the way,
it's like where it's like the being serious would have sat like in just on their own with a dark background and everything like that, with this light on them, being proper serious. And he says that.
What's that?
But he's trying to be like
he's trying to be wise and spiritual and sort of thought provoking,
and it just makes him sound dumb.
Really
dumb,
super dumb. And it's not a mockumentary either. Well, if you want a good laugh after this podcast, maybe find the BBC documentary about Bros after the laughing stops.
Just one quick one is the other one he said they were like throwing darts at each other. I was like, what the fuck is that as well?
Oh, the game where they have one singular dart and they throw it up in the air and they stand there.
Yeah, that was just stupid.
Well, I knew people from your school who did that with a brick, so I'll tell you about that later.
Okay.
That's a whole different thing. So if you think the brass are done for a dart, brick's a whole nother level. So yeah, we needed a little mental break, I think.
Yes.
For once, I think a detour was necessary. Pee-wee's serious murders continued in 1974, beginning with the 36-year-old car thief Johnny Sellers. Sellers owed Donald $1,000 for auto parts, but he was slow to pay him. Finally, tired of excuses, Donald lured Johnny to the woods and shot him with a rifle. I get the feeling that this one wasn't the urge taking over. I think when the urge takes over, he wants to do sort of take it slow and be satisfied with it that way.
Yeah.
I think this was just literally, you've pissed me off, you took the piss, boom, rifle, you're out of my life.
Yeah.
I think this was very much that. Not to say it's any better, but I'm just saying this.
Yeah. It sounds like that, to be fair.
There are differences between the rationale he's got in his head of why he's killing.
Yeah.
Different things triggering different murders. Later that same night, hoping to stall investigation of Johnny Sellers' disappearance, Donald called on Johnny's girlfriend, 22-year-old Jessie Ruth Judy, and he stabbed her to death as well.
Oh my God.
Hauling her corpse to the forest for burial beside her lover, which is really sad. That's really super sad.
Yeah.
Because obviously he must have thought, if one guy goes missing, the path must lead down me. Maybe both of them go missing. Maybe they'll put it, I don't know, a burglary.
They've gone away.
They've gone away, or maybe there's some beef that someone had with both of them. I don't know.
Yeah.
Serial killer rationale. Who knows?
Who knows?
In March 1974, Donald was on the hunt for a new victim. He was driving along when he saw what he thought were another two girls. He pulled up beside them, offered them a lift, and as they both got into his car, he realised that they weren't girls at all, but in fact just two long-haired boys. Now, Donald didn't discriminate against the boys' gender. No, Donald drove them both to a hideout near Charleston, where he sodomized and tortured both of them. Once again, similar to with the other victim previously, cooking and cannibalizing their severed genitals before finally granting them the mercy of death. So with this one, it looks like he cut off the genitals and then cooked it and ate it while they were still alive. How do people do this? How do people do it? I don't. I think I must have said the terms. I don't get it. How many times during the times we've done these podcasts? I don't get it. I don't get how someone can do that to another human being. It's so sick.
It doesn't make any sense to me at all.
I can't see the logic in it. I mean, even looking at his childhood and his history and all the things that happened to him, I just can't see how that would. It's not like I would look at his childhood and go, "Oh yeah, it kind of makes sense." It doesn't. It still just doesn't make sense why someone would do that.
No, you can't see any kind of rationale behind it.
That same year, Horace Jones, another car thief and conman, made the fatal mistake of trying to chat up Pee-wee's current wife. Donald said this about this particular situation.
That pissed me off. The way he went about doing it. I mean, if he had come to me straight to me like a man and asked to make a deal with me for my wife,